Every year as Veterans Day approaches, the nation prepares to honor those who've served in the armed forces. This year, we highlight a local veteran who's made a mark on our military. NCTV 17's Kevin Maychek shares his story.
Matt Hoyte graduated from Naperville North High School in 2007, and the very next day, he was off to basic training for the Army National Guard. 2 years later, the Naperville man was deployed to Afghanistan, where he was first a gate guard and then later became part of the police mentor team, tasked with training the Afghan National Civil Order of Police.
It was an infantryman's dream where you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's 10 guys are so self-reliant and self-sufficient that you got to do your job. Yeah, I was doing missions every day. I was a gunner for a Humvee.
Over the course of about 9 months, Matt lived amongst the Afghan people in a compound with the mission of mobilizing their government.
We weren't just tasked with having to, strategically beat the Taliban. We had to show the Afghan people why what we were doing was the system they should adapt and not the Taliban's.
Now a veteran himself, Matt is an active member of the Judd Kendall VFW, serving on the group's House Committee. Every year, the VFW holds a special ceremony on Veterans Day, and as they prepare for the event, Matt reflects on what the day means for him.
I never try to make it about myself. I guess, in some ways it doesn't seem right. I just did what I thought I had to do, and I know anybody would do it if they had to. And so for me, Veterans Day is a time for me to, I guess, remember all the guys I was with. We had some who didn't come home with us. We had others I just, fell out of contact with.
As one of the younger veterans, Matt says the biggest difference between today's generation of servicemen and women and those that served in the Korea, Vietnam, and World Wars is that many were drafted.
The actual service for my generation has been solely voluntary. And I think that in turn makes kind of doing the job a little bit easier, just because you were there by choice.
Still, that choice to serve our country through the military isn't without its sacrifices, and not just for those serving, but their loved ones as well.
I think people don't fully understand that it is an entire family who basically goes to war. Well, maybe only one person is the one who does it. The entire family will be dealing with the consequences of whatever happens.
For that reason, Matt appreciates that Americans nationwide take one day out of the year to honor those sacrifices. I'm Kevin Maychek for Naperville News 17.
The city will be holding their annual Veterans Day ceremony on November 11th at 11 a.m. at Veterans Park off Gartner Road.